welcome to the Pieman is Watching. Today we are going to have a toss-up game with one of my friends once again. You remember him from before, Baller G. He is currently playing on the Ari on the purple team. On the blue team we have a Jungle Fiddlesticks, a Midding Malzahar, a supporting Leona with a Graves and a solo top Trundle. This will be an interesting match. On the purple team we currently have a Jace, a jungling Lee Sin, solo top Jace, mind you. I just saw the Soraka with another one of my friends. You haven't met him yet. His name's Mortire. He will be playing the Soraka support while supporting the Ezreal. Great choice on support character by my friend. Ezreal does need a little bit of mana. He can save it and choose not to opt for poke damage or faster minion clearing. But with that Soraka, her infuse is definitely going to keep his mana topped off. It is also a toss-up on Soraka for support if she desires to level the infuse and the heal at the same time instead of maxing the heal first, like most Sorakas do. My friend Baller G will be playing on the Ari in the mid lane. I am really interested to see this. Malzahar vs. Ari is almost completely one-sided, unless this Malzahar really pulls something out of his hat. My friend here is going to wipe the floor with him, but that's not what's important here. I'm not focusing on a friend and friend versus another enemy team. I will be going over every lane. I'm not going to be focusing on the mid lane or the bottom lane, but that usually tends to be where more of the action happens. I do hope this game the junglers perform well. We've had some very poor junglers in videos previous. The Lee Sin and the Fiddlesticks. Now, mind you, Lee Sin is one of the fastest junglers currently in the league, where Fiddlesticks really doesn't shine in the jungle. He's more played as either a very annoying solo top or a support, sometimes even the mid lane. Uh-oh, we got a Full Metal Jace and a Muay Thai Lee Sin. I'm not gonna lie, I'm liking the Full Metal Jace, really an Iron Man-esque skin. I think that's what Riot was going for, if I'm not mistaken. And the Muay Thai Lee Sin, let me just say something. You really look at this picture. He has muscles on his muscles. I mean, look right here. Pretty sure that doesn't actually exist on a human being. If it does, let me know. You're really good at anatomy. Maybe even just you work out yourself and you do notice this. But in my experience, I have yet to see the muscle on the muscle. He is a very good picture. I really do like the design of it. It looks very well done. And we have a Full Metal Jace is also another well done skin. As I said in a previous video, the skin, the level of really product value in the skins is very high. So it blows my mind to realize that Riot's really had this potential all this time, and they have come out with very subpar skins. Yeah, just by standards alone, people would say, well, this looks pretty one-sided on the purple team. The blue team doesn't even have any skins. Of course, people would say that. It's a very common thing to hear. But trust me when I say this. Skins don't mean anything. Play styles is what matters. Now, Ezreal versus Graves. I can't really say which AD carry I approve of more. I do favor Graves in most situations. But Ezreal is undeniable. His elusiveness and output of damage with just one item, Machine, it's far too high to really pass up. You'll see that when we get farther into the leveling phase. Now what we have here, like I said before, I already named out where everyone was going. This is a very normal, this is a mid-elo, about 15 to 1600. Very standard play. This is mostly what my viewers, at least some of my viewers, some of you may even be new to the game, but most of my viewers will be playing at roughly this level. You might be better, you might not be up to this standard just yet. But if you're brand new to the game, I like to say welcome to the League of Legends. It's incredibly fun. It'll really eat up a bunch of your time. So you gotta have to be a little bit careful when you play. Do play with some restraint. Do play with some dignity. We do not like trolls in the League of Legends. If you played Han before, I apologize. The community on Han, in my opinion, is a little bit too harsh for newer players. And half the time, the people who are being extremely harsh, they play like new people themselves. I'm shocked by this most of the time. I do want to note one thing here. Look how tiny Lee Sin's model is when you backed all the way out compared to Jace. Jace has a skin, but we actually had a Riot post on the forums saying the reason why people are so tiny. Rise is the Dark Crystal Rise. If you go and look at that in game, it is most prominently the smallest model of any skin currently out there. Really, just because they kept the detail very high with it, which was what the Riot post was about, was keeping detail high. Was a reason model sizes for skins were so small. Riot is there trying to find a way to fix it, but that's just not going to happen anytime soon. Looks like we have some pretty hard leashes on. Not as hard of a leash on blue as it was on red for him. Gotten that pretty low. Actually, that was smiteable. He didn't even take any damage from it. That was pretty impressive. Going down to the bottom lane. Sorry about that misclick. I'm trying to get some poke damage on my Mortire here, but Soraka is definitely not going to have any of that. Now let's see how the 2 AD carries really perform. Got some minor poke damage thrown down. The Bananas, she has very good auto attack range. She does manage to snag the sword. Ezreal doesn't have anything. His Ezreal doesn't wear. He needs to beware. My friend cannot take those kind of hits. Looks like we have a level 2 gank from the Lee Sin. Very common. Does miss the Q. Can't land the snare either. Baller G, my friend in the middle here. Looks like he's laning pretty effectively v the Malzahar. Malzahar did choose to drop. I don't know if the minions may have transferred or if Malzahar actually chose to put it on my friend. Either way, we have a solo top situation here. Trundle. Trundle is a very underplayed character in my opinion. He's very strong. Oh, got a sword coming. Here comes the stun into the buckshot. That looks like a dead. Oh, no. First blood does go down to the Graves. I thought he would have made it out with the heal, but the ignite was definitely not having any of that. Graves' damage. That was very... Whoa! 91. This guy has some AD runes. Let's see, is he really lacking? He lacks everything. He has maybe almost just armor pen. Now that looks like a dead Ezreal. That looks like a... No, he has the arcane shift. He will survive. He has the arcane shift. That was a very, very bursty Graves Leona. He did pop both pieces of her passive. That's an extra 70 damage. Her abilities apply a sunlight passive. It's a mark put on enemies. This does not look good for my friends. As I said, I do favor Graves over the Ezreal. Merely, I don't find Ezreal's damage, but we do have a Lee Sin coming in. It's like Fiddle could be ganking the mid lane. This is going to be tough for me to... Jace is pushed, by the way, Trundle all the way to the tower. But they did have a ward. They did see Lee Sin coming. Lee Sin looks very dead, but he might take down the Leona. Oh, he needs to get out of there. Can't take 2 more shots. Come on, Soraka, where's the heal? No, oh, it was used, but Graves is going to use the flash. Can Ezreal combo in with the arcane shift? My friend is coming in. There's the kill. He actually stole that kill. That was not the greatest. Ezreal did have the damage for it. That star call would have been enough if he'd just backed off right there. Ezreal could have landed the kill, but it was the kill secured either way. His arcane shift was off of cooldown just in case. Looks like Jace here is really showing Trundle the ropes. Oh, Jace is going in on this. He doesn't have the mana. He doesn't have the mana. He doesn't have it. Can he get the kill with the shot? There it is. There it is. Jace did get the kill with the shot. That was pretty impressive. Looks like jungle here on Fiddle. It's looking pretty slow, I'm not gonna lie. Jungle Fiddle is it's not as effective as Lee Sin. I'm sorry if you guys play Jungle Fiddle. You know, if you like to play Jungle Fiddle. I love Fiddlesticks as a character. I really do. It's like my friend here, Lee Sin's trying to give him blue. He's doing a very good job of holding it, not doing too much damage. The purple team is actually starting to push back to the tower. That kill could have given them the edge, but Graves is still leading. There's the sword. There's the stun. There's the eclipse. They're going to pop it. Oh. Looking dangerously low. Can we get any damage out of this? Leona actually almost died. Nope. Graves will take out my friend. Mortire. Not playing core. Ezreal is just really not doing the damage. I don't know. He needs to be careful. Fiddlesticks gets down there before Ezreal gets out. This is going to turn very quickly, though I do believe if Leona jumps him and the CC isn't chained properly, he'll take her out in about 2 hits. One auto attack into an arcane shift into a... Well, Lee Sin is there. Lee Sin chooses to get out. He really did the hurt and put over half of his HP. Half of his HP went straight down the drain, that Fiddlesticks. That Lee Sin is hitting very hard. I actually opted for the early Doran's Blade. So Lee Sin really knows how to jungle then. I have yet to see him drop below half even in the jungle. Lee Sin is very strong solely because of his W ability. When leveled, gives him incredible survivability with not only a shield but spell vamp and lifesteal. And it is not a value to snuff at the max rank. I believe he gets 5%. Jace actually starting to go down. Chooses to opt out. Eternal's not careful. He'll fall to the Q from the ranged gun. Jace has the mana. He has the mana for the acceleration get into the gun. Can he get it? I don't know. Oh wait, we have action in the bottom lane. I apologize. Lee Sin came down for a gank but didn't get it. He managed not to give the blue to my friend in the middle lane, Ari. She did not get the blue. She must not have been paying attention. That could be dire for her. Malzahar did have to go back. No kills in the mid lane. That's what we have going on here. Pretty excited game already. Got some lifesteal now. Passive regen and a little bit of lifesteal on this Jace here. It's going to keep him alive, but Trundle nearly has to stay near the minions with his passive and regen. He can really get this HP back very quickly. That's 3% of every minion that dies, their HP. The maximum HP is just given to him. Minions aren't exactly the strongest. Casters at 310 and melee minions currently at 485. 3% of that, but there are 6 of them in the lane, and with the tank minion there, that is a massive 754. And they don't spawn every, I think it's every other wave, I'm pretty sure. Maybe every 2 waves. But if you think about it here, that's a lot of HP. 7 minions in a tank wave. That's a lot of HP back. Just a couple potions, maybe some life still. He can really get some. Oh, we have pressure. Pressure. Jace looks in trouble. Lee Sin did manage to land that Q. I don't know. He's really juking him. He's looking for a kill on Jace. He's looking for a kill on... Oh! Instantly gibbed. Did take him out. That looks like a double kill. Yep, there it is. The double kill actually goes to the Leona, so she did snag both kills from their AD carry. That is not something you want to do. It is inevitable sometimes. He actually was out of mana, and had a quick draw to get close. Maybe he was just too far away. I don't know what happened there. Happened very quickly. I was focusing on another lane, different kills, but either way, my friend is definitely not playing a very well done Soraka, which is not to his fault. This is a very strong lane combo, Leona Graves. That is possibly my favorite lane combo with Leona. Is a Graves AD carry, support Leona. I believe that's the best Leona with a Graves. Just keeping them still, allowing Graves to get really good damage with this buckshot. My friend here is looking to gank her own lane even. Well, totally whiffing both the heart and the ball. That was a heart looking to do some damage. He misses his abilities as well. So terrible. He did expect him to back up, but he didn't. He wasn't expecting the gank, so he did sit there to farm the minions. Looks like Lee Sin's coming. He's looking for blood. So far, I haven't really seen Lee Sin do much. He did enable them in the bottom line. This looks like a dead Malzahar. There's the wave for the kill. Did manage to get 312 gold. Malzahar will take out my friend Ari merely because of the Malefic Visions, his DOT. I have damage going on the bottom lane. He does manage to flash the stun, but the slow, he will survive this day. I keep missing fight. A lot of action. Oh, look at this on the top lane. Trundle is going to go down. You never come back to a Jace. His cooldowns they're really strong abilities, and that's a dead Morgana. Or that is a dead Soraka. I always get those two confused. Arcane Shift. I'm not sure where he was aiming that, or that Q. Don't know what he was trying to prove there by backing into Graves. That was a silly decision. Bottom lane is actually really fed now. Feeding, definitely, from both sides. Not just my friend, but both sides. Jace, looking low. This Fiddlesticks is really giving the 1-4 to... What was he planning here? Both skill shots. I'm kind of wondering what Jace was trying to prove here. Why Fiddle actually didn't go in on him, and Jace is out of mana. He's out of mana. He can get some mana back, but he's out. Fiddle had blue buff and full mana. All he really had to do was stay in there with his ulti. Jace has flash, but I don't even think it wasn't even up yet. I'm slightly lost on what he was trying to prove. They're really looking apparently to invade. Lee Sin did not see that Leona. Jace could be in trouble. Now Jace is porting away. Lee Sin's going to start blue. Maybe he'll actually give it to my friend this time. I don't know. Isn't the greatest matchup right now. This is really looking bad for my purple team. I'm rooting for the purple team, of course, but blue team is definitely playing the bottom lane in general better. Malzahar doesn't look like he's a very good Malzahar. I haven't seen him do much yet, but he is effectively farming at the same rate as my friend. He's 1 kill on him now because he did get that kill. I don't really know what else to say. Missing the Q entirely. Fiddle is coming in to assist. Jace needs to not be there right now. Trundle looks like he's going to try and take this tower. I don't see him taking it quite this minute. Does opt to use the Whoa, the damage from the minion and Malefic Visions almost brought him to half. This looks bad. As I said before, usually an easy match, but this Malzahar has definitely chosen the An interesting route. Oh, he's going for the kill, but he looks dead. That's a minion into an ulti. That was not happening. Malzahar's definitely outplaying. Blue team right now, in my opinion, is definitely outplaying. Trundle is going back. Definitely outplaying the purple team. Just the damage from this Graves is incredibly high. I mean, it was high with just a Doran's Blade, so I do expect him to really be shining this match. I mean, he's 5-1 right now. I mean, look at that. Does actually pick it up off the minions. I didn't even want to say anything. I was in suspense. Huh? I guess Lee Sin must have found our friendly Fiddlesticks. Maybe it was Jace. They do manage to take down that turret awfully quick. That is 2 turrets down for the purple team. Blue team does have 2. They're gonna check maybe on the blue buff. Lee Sin is here. No, they're warding the blue buff so they know. Lee Sin needs to not go in on that though. He has an Ahri for backup. The Graves is back at base. They has Leona by herself. She doesn't have the damage, especially now that her Eclipse is down. She really doesn't have the damage. She thinks I don't know what she's trying to do. Well, I know she's not getting away. Graves is on the way. Malzahar should be working his way down. Oh, that's a dead Leona right there. My friend actually picked up the kill on him. Finally, Graves got there, but just a second to them. Really, honestly, Malzahar should have came to assist. He might have even gotten a kill out of it. Just the sheer disruptiveness of Leona. Doesn't manage to get the Malefic Visions into the pool. It needs to stay out of that void zone. Graves' ulti is down. It'll be up very shortly, though. My friend is looking really low. That Malefic Visions. That silence damage, that is actually double damage if both pieces hit you when you're about right here and behind it. It's a very interesting ability. One piece or both pieces can hit you. It actually depends on how well the Malzahar places it. Fiddlesticks is looking to do something. I need to stay out of this. That's not a combo they really need to go in on. All that would take is any CC disruption. Not able to have on Fiddlesticks. That's an ulti, and Fiddlesticks' ulti is very powerful. That's another death for my friend here. She will die to that ignite. That's another one down. This Ezreal is not performing. In all honesty, that was actually a give-up kill. They shouldn't have done that. They should have maybe wadded over here. Waited. They would have gotten him without the ulti, to be honest. And Jace and Trundle are just kind of duking it out, but Trundle is not needed. Jace, on the other hand, is needed. And there's the ulti. I don't know if Jace is going to make it. Nope. The flash from Trundle did save his life. Trundle's ultimate actually gives him the magic resist, 15% health, magic, and armor. It gives him health. It gives him 50% of the target's armor and magic resist. Makes him very tanky. He gets a little bit of extra health back over time. It's a hot over time. So hey, whatever. But with his passive, he has a little bit of wriggles now, so he's healing pretty well. That his Q is his auto attack, but a little bit more. It's kind of good. I mean, look at that damage. That's crazy. Awful lifesteal. Oh, have action! Trundle got caught by Ahri and the friendly Lee Sin. Soraka is here trying to tell Fiddle to get the hell out of my house. Fiddle doesn't have flash, but he is charging the ulti. Can he get anything out of this? Not a chance. Barely, actually. He did almost no damage. That was rather embarrassing. It's decent AP. 115. What was my friend at? Their AP carry, the only one. 93. Did chose to go a little defensive with a Hextech and a Chalice for the magic resist on that Malzahar. Pretty crazy. This game so far has been very exciting, wouldn't you say? I like how this is panning out. Lee Sin's trying to get some maneuverability. Listen, they're going for the blue buff. We could see a dragon attempt. Purple does have this warded, so they do know the Graves and possibly Leona. They might have seen her. Are coming up. Oh, my friend looks very dead. Graves is going to find him. Look at that damage. Unnecessary ulti, in my opinion. That's a stun. That's a dead Soraka. Oof. Must have that IE. 485 crit, I think. Maybe 450. I got my numbers mixed up, but that's okay. They will have an uncontested blue buff. I'm not seeing anyone from the purple team except for maybe Lee Sin, who's currently trying to stop this push, but Ezreal isn't doing anything, and Jace is So far this game just jungling and sitting top with this Trundle, who is doing the same, but his team doesn't need him as much as they need. This purple team needs their Jace. Believe it or not, this 4v5, they've been actually 3v5, they've been pulling off 3v4. It's working incredibly well. This Graves damage, just the disruptiveness. I don't know. They might not make it out. He does get the shutdown, Ezreal. That's actually going to help him a lot. Lee Sin barely making it out of there. That was incredible. That was an incredible turnaround. They really needed that shutdown kill on Graves. He was 10-1. That's really unfortunate that he even had that much. And there's this jungle Fiddle. I'm not gonna lie, he is very powerful. Oh, damage going down to the top lane. Malzahar's coming in on the Jace. There goes my friend. He's gonna come in, but I don't think he should initiate with a Trundle and a Malzahar. Malzahar's ulti is down. Trundle's ulti is down. They use both ultis. I don't know what he's complaining about the Ahri for. I think he just literally got there. Fiddlestick's looking to ulti over the wall, perhaps? Right here, they do have sight on him. They do have sight on him. It's a glitch in the system. They should not have sight, but right here, right about there, they have sight. But Soraka does spot him. Soraka does not need to be there right now. A Trundle right there and a Malzahar quickly to come for backup. Leona is actually headed up the mid lane, but we might see some action out of this, and that right now it's just poke damage. I'm not sure what we're going to go for here. Soraka's pushing a little far forward. Soraka doesn't need to be there. Soraka's looking low. Soraka's looking hurt. All the heals are going down. Don't know if actually that was bad. Lee Sin should not have Dragon Raged him back into Soraka. That was actually the cause of her death. Malzahar does flash. Lee Sin's definitely not the best of calls. That looks like a pretty dead Fiddlesticks. He's actually doing the best thing by backing off to save his friendly Malzahar's life. By doing that instead of running, he lowers the chances they'll even catch up to Malzahar while Leona is busy stealing wraiths. She'll wipe this camp right there. She did not pick up the big minion. One auto attack will do it. Malzahar does safely retreat thanks to the Fiddles. Very good play by backing into the team. He knew he wasn't going to get away once that Lee Sin slow hit, so he was going to try his best to give Malzahar as much of a lead as possible. This Jace really hasn't done anything this match with his team, yet he blames them. I don't find that to be proper team play. Do not blame your team if you haven't done anything yourself. So far, Purple Team is definitely performing under par. They're starting to catch up. They really are starting to catch up. Kills are starting to go their way. Ezreal's starting to get a little farm. He does have his Triforce, which increases his damage. It's just a significant damage increase. His Q ability, his Mystic Shot, which I covered, his Q ability, his Mystic Shot, does apply on hit effect, which is what Trinity Force unique passive does. Actually gives 150% of your attack damage bonus to your next auto attack, and in this case on his Q, which is already an improved version of his auto attack. It's a very potent combo and probably the most common seen. If you were to go AP Ezreal, that would actually be a Lichbane. He does have it's a 0.5 AP ratio. That's a 0.2, 0.5 or 0.2. 0.2. I apologize. 0.2 AP ratio. It's pretty bad. But it's not designed. It's not designed as an AP ability. It really isn't. His AP ability is actually his Essence Flux, his Arcane Shift, and his Ultimate both have very good AD ratios and AP ratios on them. I mean, if you just look at that, he has 30 AP. 24 bonus, 23 bonus, and 27 bonus. Oh, we found ourselves a Trundle. Trundle actually is really beating this Lee Sin down. Lee Sin's doing almost literally no damage to him because of his lifesteal and armor. But that is some heavy AoE damage. Fiddlesticks is taken out immediately by the friendly Ezreal here, while Soraka is taking out the Malzahar, while Ezreal is also taking down the Trundle. Leona's looking for something to do here. Graves is here. Need to be careful. Ezreal does have the triple. Will he get the Quadra? He completely whiffs, but he does end up getting the Quadra kill, but he would have gotten it immediately and possibly saved his Soraka's life if he hadn't really whiffed that Mystic Shot of his. But that is an ace, a 2-for-5 exchange. Fiddlesticks going down immediately. As I said, Fiddlesticks is not the strongest jungler, so he's really in a proper team fight. It appears with their Jays, as I said before, if he was in there, they wouldn't have lost so many kills early, but I'm seeing a really big turnaround. I'm pretty sure this tower is going to go out. Ari and Jace can really just take out the minion wave, and Jace is just going to wham into this tower with Ezreal coming in for the big finish. Lee Sin is going to opt to defend, which is the best decision. His AoE damage, you see right here, is very good, and the more abilities he uses, the more attack speed he gets. Every ability gives him 2 next basic attacks are very quick, and they return energy. And he uses abilities very quickly. His abilities are on a decently low cooldown. I think the longest one actually being, it is his shield. And it's the longest one of his cooldowns, minus his ultimate, of course. There's only a couple people in the league that ultimates are actually lower than some of their base abilities. One of those I can make in his example is actually Kassadin. His ultimate's on a 4-second cooldown. It's pretty ridiculous. Jace will be found by Graves here. Graves chooses to opt in. He's trying to slow him down with that with the smoke screen here, but Ezreal does not need to be here. Graves' damage is much higher than his right now, even with his Trinity Force. That's some lifesteal and a Leona to back him up. Jace will get away. Chooses to try to hit him with that Shock Blast. Ezreal backs off. Lee Sin is definitely dead. That is also a dead Ezreal. No, he Arcane Shifts and Flashes. He will be safe. He's trying to do some damage. They will probably take this purple tower while Treadle is pushing the top lane. A friendly Ari here opted for something. He does barely miss Leona. It would not have killed her, but he does barely miss her. He seems to be shooting very high on the skill shots. He shoots right about here, always. I don't know what he's expecting. I don't know what he's doing, but seems like he's very off. He might have a mouse issue, or maybe even a resolution problem. I did have that once. If your resolution is maybe too small, the screen kind of compensates for that with your mouse, and you won't be pointing where you are. I don't know. That could be the case, or he could just be very bad at skill shots, which is interesting to play Ezreal, which is a completely damaged skill shot based character. But that's okay. We're not here to critique him. We're just here to watch the match. I will be critiquing gameplay at the end, not during the gameplay. That is a very fast dragon. As I said, Graves' damage it's far too high. He opts for the Phantom Dancer right after instead of the Bloodthirster, which is in his case his damage is high enough to where I don't think it would matter. No one's focusing him down. I think that's actually a really big mistake. He always seems to be either a second to last or the last person that is killed. I find that to be a mistake. His damage is really high. No one's really hitting that hard except for him. Not even Fiddlesticks, who's supposed to be doing about that much damage. He needs to go in on this. Lee Sin did need to back off. If team fight going down. Apologize for not making this full screen. Malzahar almost instantly falls. He will get him. Ezreal will pick him off with the ultimate. Jace will go down. Fiddlesticks does go down to Lee Sin. Malzahar takes out Lee Sin. Who is going to get away? As I said, Graves is always the last one alive. But it seems like their tactic is working. Trundle wasn't there. He chose to push the top lane. If Ezreal and Soraka can slow him enough, which Ezreal doesn't have a slow on him. Wait, I apologize. Trinity Force does have a slow. I forgot about it. It's on percentage chance, but he doesn't need to be getting in close with that Trundle. It's not going to be able to heal him up. Soraka's heals are not going to be enough. There's the ultimate heal after the summoner heal, which did not hit him in range. He's opting to go for Soraka. Ari is coming up from behind. Ezreal will Arcane Shift away. He needs to keep sending those Mystic shots to keep his Arcane Shift on a really low cooldown. I don't know. Trundle here. Trundle could get him. His Q does not apply on hit effects. I mean, even Leona's saying it in chat too, and she is not on the same team as him. He is not doing the damage. He does not apparently appear to play Ezreal very effectively. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to say to that. That Trundle definitely did not need to keep pushing when he saw his team go down. He either needed to help engage with him or back off, not staying. Basically right above the team fight area was right here. Trundle was right there. Not the best of calls. Graves, as I said before, they're really not focusing Graves down. They seem to be killing off Fiddlesticks and Malzahar very quickly. Leona actually almost even faster. I find that to be very strange. Graves is doing the most damage on his team, period. No one's doing quite as much damage as the Graves. He does opt for a Last Whisper. Actually, I believe Black Cleaver is a much better choice on Graves. In my personal opinion, I'm no pro player. Ooh, this could be bad. Lee Sin did DC. I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but he did DC. They really need to specify if you either quit or disconnected, if a server connection lost or if the button was actually pressed. It's very It's very uninformative for us casters. We don't know if he actually quit. Yep, there he is. It was just a DC. You really need to say not quit or disconnected was better. I'm not sure what Graves is trying to prove. Baron is not something Graves can take out without really any good lifesteal. I put him very low. If he's not careful, he'll die to it. Graves might just go down. It's a golden Ezreal moment. Passed up. Ahri does not pass through the wall twice. Third charge does manage to make it over, but it's not in time. Does miss the Q. Or not the Q, but the taunt. That looks like a very dead Ahri if they all focus her down. Leona is being very disruptive. That AoE damage. They're going to focus on the Ezreal. Ezreal's not going to be able to do anything. Malzahar, Graves actually was focused down by Lee Sin. Here comes a Fiddlesticks ulti. That's another one. Malzahar is going to, little aid thing is going to do work. That does not look good. That's almost a 5. Jace cannot 3v1. He is very low on mana. I don't see this looking good, and they did get the Baron. She does miss. He manages to juke them slightly. He might be able to get some. Doesn't need to go up this way. He could have sought in the bush, and they would not have found him. Wow, good placement of the rock on Trundle's part. There's the drain, and that's it. That's over. That's an ace. That's a dead team fight. That was a very good engage attempt for purple. If Ahri had actually connected over the wall. You need to stamp it right here. Ahri's jump is not that far. And he was definitely trying to jump it from about here. You need to be about right there, even on the wall entirely. Just clicking right there will do it, and then just right over the wall. You actually won't hit Baron with your first jump as Ahri. The range is not high enough. They're trying to take out this tower. Oof. Nothing really. That Ezreal is truly not doing anything. Such a depressing thing. Man, it's a close game. I'm not gonna lie. The goal advantage is definitively in the blue team's favor. It's a 14k advantage. 14k. That's a pretty hefty advantage. That's a very hefty advantage. I'm assuming it's really to do with the farm. The farm on this side is nowhere near the amount on this side. Even Leona has 41 farm. And they do have a 5 tower advantage. That's another thing I see very commonly is the lack of pushing. I know they're trying, and there's no real chance for them to push, and Jace does not need to be there. Jace needs to back off. His team is not in any position for him to initiate on them. It's Graves, though. Graves is going in by himself. Jace can and will take out Graves. I don't know what Jace is thinking. He can go in there. There's no one behind him. They really could have taken out Graves right there. The damage was there. Jace alone could have taken him out. The collateral damage used immediately, only hitting Jace. That's very upsetting. Can we get the taunt from Ahri? No, we will see Ezreal going down immediately. That ulti from Malzahar is just too strong. My friend here is taking a lot of damage. He's dead. That's even the sword hadn't hit him, he still would have died. Friendly Ahri did not like she should. Not going to do much damage though, I'm afraid. It's not enough. This looks pretty GG-able for the purple team here. Jace, if he had played with his team earlier, and didn't play so passively. Zhonya's for the tower save. I was actually going to save Fiddlesticks' life. They did miss the sword extend over here. A lot of action going on. I think I'll actually drop this into full screen. Should have done it earlier. Jace is going to go down. He's trying to get some kills under the tower, but it's not happening. Too much CC, too much HP, too much armor. Pretty sure he's got quite 224. Oh, we're looking at damage. And they vote no. Oh, man. I don't know what happened there. Purple team was really turning it around. They really were. They were turning it around quite well. My friend did end up losing against someone. I thought he would, as a Ahri, be able to really do damage to Malzahar. But the more you think about it, I think Malzahar might be a pretty decent counter. Ahri is very good at dodging skill shots and very good at skirting on the edges of team fights and doing still very decent damage with a single disrupt that is on a pretty low cooldown. But Malzahar, if you really think about it, can stop that entirely while having just a lot of DOT damage, which hurts Ahri, I think, the most. Bursting her down is very good. She's very squishy. She's not the tankiest of AP carries, and a sense of tankiness for a carry. But I think dot damage and whittling her down to where she actually can't engage, she does need to be in pretty close proximity with her ultimate to do damage with it. The range that the little ball, the little sprite energies comes off of her when she does use her Fox Spirit Rush When she uses it, the little balls of energy fly off of her up to the 3 closest, prioritizing champions over minions. It's in my opinion, it's very different kind of style, because her other abilities do have medium to very long range on their damage and usage. Even her Foxfire, little 3 balls of energy that fly out and hit people, that's also very high. His item choices it's very standard build. He did have to get the early chalice because of the Malzahar. You normally on Ari he rushes his Hex Tech and then his Rylays and then into a Woda, but he actually had to opt out of that. Didn't have the greatest of games as Ari and had to buy something else. Bottom lane, let's talk about bottom lane. That Graves Leona, my favorite combo with Graves is having a Leona support. It's too good of disruption. The more damage I can put into you, the better. You're going to be standing still. I'm going to be quick draw buckshot straight into your forehead. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 auto attacks with a decent level of quick draw and some attack speed. There's the shield bash. Sword into shield bash. I stay in close proximity to my Leona at all times. Ask my Leonas to not back off too far. So if you do initiate, I'm right behind you with the quick draw. I'm right there doing the damage. But that right there was a good example of completely outplaying their Ezreal. I'm not going to lie, not the best Ezreal in the game that I've seen. He got the right item for an AD Ezreal. I think he rushed it too hard. I think a little early lifesteal, just a Vamp Scepter would have been enough. But he rushed straight to the Trinity Force and buy any other items besides his boots. Always a standard buy the boots first. On some characters, actually specifics, some other characters, the boots aren't that important to certain play styles. But we'll get into that in later Champions Slice videos. Those will be coming out shortly. Fiddlesticks, terrible in the jungle, did awful this game. But it didn't matter, his team carried him to victory. Their Lee Sin did very well in the jungle. He had effective ganks, he pushed people back, got their carry a little extra farm, their carry did nothing. Jace, if Jace had played with his team a little earlier, that would have gone differently. Wouldn't have been so many kills for their team. The Trundle actually did a very interesting job of keeping the Jace preoccupied while his team was doing something, because Jace never left lane. If Trundle didn't leave lane, then Jace left lane, but he was a vendetta against Trundle to kill him all the time, all day, never helped his team. If he had, this would have been different. They probably wouldn't have lost. It might have still been a loss because their AD carry. He did get a QUADRA this game, but to be honest, I don't think it was much of his work. I don't see it being very much. I think Ari and Jace did the most damage, with Lee Sin definitely adding to that pool. Their Malzahar, he played a very smart lane. My friend was not playing very effectively either. He did miss quite a few very simple skill shots. But Malzahar there, he did play well. He played very defensive, very passive farming, and came in for kills when he knew he could get them with his ultimate. His minions hit very hard. He actually, if I noticed, the only time he didn't have a mid-level, a level 2 minion, as I consider the Born level 1, the buff 2 HP and damage level 2, and the level 3 minion is the attack speed minion. He only didn't have a level 2 minion when he used his ultimate once. That was when he actually spawned the minion on use of his ultimate. He must play Malzahar a little bit. I saw a little bit of good plays in him. Not the best, he was decent enough. Malzahar, the Graves, his damage far too high. He shut down the bottom entirely. My friend Soraka Mortar did feed very hard. You must give him a little credit. He is not exactly always playing the game. He's a bit out of practice. I normally see him play better than that. He did get shut down entirely. He did feed the Graves quite a bit of kills, but Ezreal is nothing to say much less to. Leona played Leona. Very disruptive. Didn't have to do damage. She did get a couple kills. Didn't really matter. If anything, it actually aided their bottom lane by giving her items to assist her Graves more. And Trundle, as I said before, played a disruptive game by keeping their Jace away. For some reason, Jace wouldn't go down to a team fight. Even if I was solo top, I would risk my tower's life to help in a team fight, because a team fight could mean I take their tower in return. Why solely defend your top lane? Even on some fights, right here in the jungle, we can go back and we can look at those fights. Nothing. He was right here. Or right here in the mid lane. He could have walked down. He saw them all converging, or even in Dragon Pit. I understand we want to stay top lane. It's very difficult for both top laners to move anywhere besides this part of the jungle. but it was unacceptable. He was pushing, he was winning against Trundle. He could have came to mid to gank, help Ahri out because she was losing her lane. He could have maybe tried to counter, or he didn't really counter ward very effectively, or even ward effectively. It is medieval play, so they're not going to have the craziest ward placement. But either way, this game was pretty interesting. I don't really know what to think of it. It's pretty distinctive advantage for blue team here. Yeah, that Graves definitely carried his team with Malzahar and Trundle. Trundle became very, very difficult to kill. Their damage, AD, AD, AD. Trundle doesn't really need the extra magic resistors if you built a lot of HP. That's a problem with Ahri. She needs low squishy HP targets, or medium HP targets. Eventually, this was getting pretty close to late game. Ahri was very underleveled as well, compared to Trundle and Malzahar. Actually 2 levels lower than her own mid. Even their support was actually 2 levels higher. It's probably on average about 2 levels higher. Their best character in the team. It wasn't good. The farming was definitely something to do with it. Farms in this team are pretty bad. Even Fiddlesticks, they're pretty good. Fiddlesticks is difficult to farm with. They actually fixed one of his abilities to help him farm. Lee Sin, that's actually really bad. Just want to point that out. Even for a jungle Lee Sin, that's pretty bad. That's actually really good for a jungle Fiddle. So Leona had a lot of free farm time. It assists a lot because of the Heart of Gold. Gives her passive money, HP5, gold, GP5 items, and she had 2 of them because this was a Philo Stone before it became Ashrelia's. That would probably have been turned into a Randuin's not too long after she had pretty good items. They definitely built against the majority of their team. 80, 80, 80. A lot of armor is bought. So Graves built smart, built straight. He was already dominating. The Bloodthirster wasn't necessary, so he built this instead just to make sure they couldn't build against him. The more armor you build, the more effective this item actually becomes. It's 40%, not 40 flat. Percentage is good on high armor targets. If I'm going to take off 40 out of 200 armor, get you down to 160. If I'm going to take 40% out of 200 armor, I'm taking out 80. That's pretty good, in my opinion. So I don't really have much else to say. Blue team played much more effectively. This had a couple feeds. Bad plays definitely from Jace and Ezreal. Lee Sin, really, he did his job. I do not approve of his item build at all. By the way, I'll get to a Lee Sin video eventually, and I'll show you how I play Lee Sin. I play Lee Sin very well. Ezreal, it's not the worst item choices, but it was definitely a bad Ezreal. He did not land his proper skill shots. He missed them quite often. Even on a standing still target, he missed his skill shots. There's no excuse for that. My friend also did the same, missing skill shots. That's definitely unnecessary. My friend here, Mortar, he didn't play a very good game. He definitely fed quite hard, which in turn is just it did not help their team. This Graves got too much money too fast. They did manage to kill him every single shutdown, but he was 10 and won for a long time. So, in my opinion, this was not the best game for the purple team. They played decently, but they did have poor players, poor choices. Poor players, I should point to 3 people. Poor choices. Lee Sin did his job as best as he could. Very underleveled for a jungler. I mean, their jungler was 14, but Lee Sin shouldn't be higher. He's a better jungler. Trundle did his very interesting job of keeping Jace focused on him the entire match. Graves did his job as being too much damage all the time. Fiddle, awful, was kind of not even there ever. His team fight presence was null, even with this heavy AP that he had from that Zhonya's. His ultimate did almost nothing. Malzahar did good work. He was very good poking. He actually beat her, my friend Ahri here, in the laning phase. Completely dominated him. It really wasn't much of a contest. Leona did very disruptive work. That's what Leona does best, disruptive. Actually had a couple really funny kills, double kills in the bottom lane just because they were really underleveled and underfarmed. Ezreal, that's no excuse. Ezreal should have had a crap ton more farm. Should have been all in Graves' range of farm. There's nothing you can say against that. He really should have been in Graves' farm range. Minus Graves' kills, look at his farm. That attributes to his items. And it's not necessarily just his skills, but his items. Farm is important. Promise. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. Please Comment, like, and subscribe. Keep gaming, and remember, the Pieman is watching.